Welcome back to part 2 of old car wrecks in Karawatha Forest. This here is a Honda Civic. I saw this about 5 years ago. It's pretty much exactly the same, except the two little hubcaps that were on it are now gone. Somebody's taken those as souvenirs. But it had the H on there, and that was a dead giveaway. I knew it was a Honda, and a small Honda, two-door Honda. But this was the part that convinced me it was a Civic, and that's that chrome bit that goes along the front of the bonnet. And there it is, still intact and probably still good. I don't think there's anything else on here that's useful for anything at all. Alrighty, that's just a quick look at that one. I'm heading off over the hill to the rocks area. There's a Commodore. I'll tell you more about that one when you see this one. It looks very similar to this one, so I'll tell you more about that one later on. See you then. Well, finally made it. I've just been, this area here is just so much steeper than it appears. I found this Commodore thanks to John from the Gel Builder channel. He does a lot of this sort of stuff, and he found this car, and he thought it was a Ford Falcon, but it's a very similar first series Commodore. And I think the way it got down here would have been rolled from the top there. And here it is. It's I don't know my Commodores, I just know it's the first body shape. I mean, there's not enough evidence here for me to tell anyway. It's got a horn. It's yeah, it would have been a complete car, is what I imagine. I can't tell much else. I can't even tell if it's auto or manual. Probably an auto. I mean, these were 6-cylinder, 4-cylinder autos and manuals, so I don't know what this was. But there it is. It'll last a few more years before it rusts all the way down. But that's been there a long time. Long time. I recognise that leaning tree just over in there from the other side when John was walking through. I spotted that and I went, if I see that, the video was 3 years old, and I thought, well, if that tree's still leaning up there, I'll know where I am. If you study videos closely enough, you'll find enough evidence in them to get you to where you want to go. Oh, there he is. An old Commodore. Now I'm heading off to there are 3 signs. Look, there's not a real lot in here besides nature, but there are some car bodies. And I like to come in here like others do and just look for evidence of the old days, I guess. So either some of these things were stolen and dumped, or just dumped, or just bush bashed and left when they wouldn't go anymore. So the little Honda I saw back there down near Frog Hollow. This one here is up near the rocks, where that little shelter is, a little hut on the rocks track. So there are 3 signs that run. There's one over in a swampy area, another one in a hilly area, and this other one is over near the northwest part of the park. And I don't know if as many have seen that sign. I believe they're all identical, so there's something I can have a look at too, see if they're all identical. And they would have been there since the 70s, I'm guessing. So just a bit of old stuff that you can find if you feel you want to go exploring. You could spend a lot of time out here just going along these edges here. Be nice after rain. It'd be slippery, but it would still be nice after rain. Now this ridge line goes along for quite a while. Yeah, lots to see. All right, I'll go and film that sign, then off to the second sign, the third sign, and these two other cars that I don't know what they are yet, but I've got to find out. I will, I'll work it out eventually. Well, here's the sign up in the northwest corner of Karawatha Forest. There are two more that I know of. I can't imagine there being any more than this. These were probably put here in the late 70s, I'd say. Late 70s, that'll do. This is the best one. This one's in the best condition. There's the second one I'm about to go to is very rusty, and there's probably only a little bit of writing. Only a few words will you be able to make out on that one, but I believe they're all identical now. But I'll go and see that one. And see, this is just off the border road up there. The freeway is just on the other side of that fence there. All right. Not very exciting, but anyway, here it is. There's the second sign, or the middle sign. It is in the middle of the other two. One being in the northwest, and this one sort of over in a swampy area, which I'm going to next. But there it is. A little bit of old history. Recent history, but still history nonetheless, because there's not a lot in here except for nature. And the man-made things are the things that stand out. So there's a very rusty sign. Very durable though. That metal is like it's still going to go for another 50 years. Anyway, alright, off to the third sign and a car body. And then possibly another car body. Okay, see you there. This little car here is the one that I always thought was a Volkswagen Beetle. Mainly because this piece here was down on the ground or buried. And I could just see the window and that shape. You can see that it was, you know, mostly covered over with dirt. And I thought this was a Beetle, and always just presumed that and didn't think much more of it. Until I had a closer look, because it has a drive shaft hump there and a wind out front windscreen. Just a little fresh air, just wind that and the front windscreen will open at the bottom for some fresh air. So that was, to me, well, no longer was that a Volkswagen Beetle. And I found the boot lid was quite upright, and the hinges for the boot were on the bottom. So this was a car with an upright boot which hinged from the bottom, and it reminded me of an Austin A40. So I googled that and found that it was slightly older Austin, a 1940 Austin is what this is. So there it is. That's another mystery for me solved. It's, yeah, another piece of rust with just enough evidence there of what it was. All right, I'm off to a Holden Ute, I believe. So okay, see you down there at the Holden. There it is, the third sign. Same sign, only different. This one's got bullet holes. Looks like it's had a shotgun blast right in the middle there. I'll have a bit of a close-up of that. Oh, there's some sunlight coming through there. How's that? Alrighty. Nothing exciting like I promised. It's just the third sign. Okay, I'm going to get out of this swamp, which is not really a swamp at the moment because it's so dry. But I'm off to see one last car. I'll see you there. I found the Holden Ute. I'm just going to call this one the HT. It's too hard to tell what it really is, but it's a HT Holden Ute. I think those taillight assemblies are all the same, so that's not anything to help me. I don't know if there are any more clues on this to see exactly what this is. Whether it's a Belmont or a Kingswood. But it did have a nice stripe down the side there. Oh, it continues over onto the mudguard there. I think it was white. It had a lot of body filler, a lot of bog in there. Yeah, look, all that. Yeah, so she was. Oh yeah, look, there's that unfinished putty there, bog on the edge there. Yeah, so she was a little bit worse for wear. Bench seat. I'll have a look to see if there's any pedals in there to see if it was auto or manual. Okay, door striker. Gee, those hinges are huge. Look at the heavy duty hinge on that thing. It's unreal. Alright, what else we got? No floor. That's to be expected. Drum brakes. Okay, it had drum brakes. It's a drum brake front end. Oh, that little lens would have been there. It's been melted in a fire. So, but that's cracked, and that's. I don't think that's any good. The other side. Okay, I can't see any pedals there, so I can't tell. Steering box is gone. A few steering components. The diff is still in there. Oh, the housing anyway. The back of that diff is rusted all the way out. So that's got bolts now where the diff goes in. But on the back, it's got no plate. I don't know if all Holden diffs were like that. Well, I can't really tell from here. I'm not going to drag everything out on this one and have a close look, but I wasn't sure that Holden diffs or the standard diff didn't have a cover on the back. Unless I'm thinking of Borg Warners, and this could be something different. Okay, not a lot else to really look at here. This is the final car that I've found. I think that's about 8 cars altogether. I don't know of any more. I'll keep scouring the bush. I'll keep going for rides and trying to find new places. But we'll call this the end of Car Wrecks in Karawatha Part 2. Thanks a lot for watching. See you next time. That one, number 9. I just found this. I've not even looked at it yet. So you are looking at this one at the same time as I am. It looks like a Toyota. That looks like a Toyota engine. At around about 1969. Corolla, Toyota Corolla is what I'm thinking. Okay, engine's over there, but the gearbox is gone. It won't be too long before this one is gone as well. Has the whole diff in there. It's automatic. Toyota Glide. It's been burnt a couple of times. So this looks like, was that red? Maybe a red one, or was, yeah, I don't know what layers. Don't know what layers these are. If there's a whitish grey, yeah, I'd imagine this is a red car. Yeah, I'm going with red. It's really hard to tell which is on top. Whether is that like a red oxide with a white lighter colour. I think it might have just had some. Yeah, I don't know. This one's a bit open. Could be grey. Hard to say. Anyway, no biggie. Wow, that's in perfect condition. That's not. This one's not, but it's still there. Okay, unexpected addition to the end of the video. I'll end it here. Thanks a lot for viewing. See you later.